So this is the arrow shows whether you have to increase or decrease the capital injections. So if you have the money, the number 3 area of the question mark, that's the area you have to put the biggest portion of your limited resources in order to increase market share in a fast growing industry. And then number 1 star area is the next area to put more money, more resources of yours in order to keep the market leadership. You are still a leader in this market, so you can just inject resources as long as you can keep the market leaderships. But even though in the area of the cash cow, you are still a market leader position, but you'd rather not put a lot of money in the cash cow areas because the market is not growing. So you simply maintain the injecting the money to the level to maintain, to keep the current market position. Even though you are generating lots of cash or lots of the money from the area number 2, cash cow, but you don't have to inject a lot of investments in those areas. And the dog area, that's actually the area you have to decrease your capital injections, because you do not expect that market is growing fast in the near future, and also it's quite tough, or you are taking a risk, big risk, to acquire the market leadership positions in a market where the growth is very low. So in the area of the dog market, you'd rather consider the withdrawal of this business. Okay, so this is the beauty of the BCG matrix. By simple 2 criteria, by combining 2 simple criteria of market growth and relative market share, we can easily see which market is attractive to us and where to put our precious money more or not. Okay. Now let me move on to the next topic. I have explained what the BCG matrix, and then we may also use the BCG matrix to rebalance our business portfolios, right? But BCG matrix can be also used to list up strategic alternatives. So in case of the listing strategic alternatives to increase business sales, like in case that the problem of we want to tackle is increasing the sales volumes, we can also list up different alternatives using the BCG matrix. For example, one of the key factors we will divide it is that whether market growth rate is high or not, right? That's the left-hand side X. According to the market growth, we divide whether we will increase sales volumes in the area of the business where the market growth rate is high. So focus on business with high market growth. That's one option. Focus on business with low market share growth is another option. You may say that it's intuitively it's better to focus on the business where market growth rate is high instead of focusing on business with low market growth. It might be true, but in some other cases, it might be better for you to focus on the businesses with low market share. What is the case? What is such case? You also have to consider your position in that industry as well. So even though the market growth rate is low, if your position in that industry is strong, you may increase your resource allocations on these areas. Something like you put some money in cash cow businesses to keep your current position, to maintain your current positions, right? So once you divided your strategic alternatives of increasing sales volume to based on the growth rate of the market, and then you can also divide your strategic alternatives based on your position in that industry. So finally, you may have the 4 different options. One is you focus on the businesses with high market growth and your position in that industry is strong. That is something like the area of the star. Or the second option is focus on business with high market growth and your position in this industry is weak. That's something similar to the question mark businesses. So once you can take market leadership position in that industry, and it will provide you a lot of rewards because the market is growing so fast. The third option of pursuing your strategic alternative is focus on business with low market share where your position is strong. And the final option is focus on business with low market growth where your position in that industry is weak. That's the area of the dog area according to the BCG matrix. So in each of those 4 different areas, we can draw the strategic direction or direction by strategic alternatives, something like that. Okay. In the star business sector where market is growing so fast and my position in that industry is strong, in order to establish a market leadership position, additional resources are continuously invested in developing new products or strengthening relationships with existing customers to continuously expand the proportion of sales in this industry. So that can be one of the strategic options we may choose when the business sector market growth is high and my position in that industry is strong. So based on our analysis, if the market is growing high and my position in that industry is weak, so we may choose the business strategy of number 2, where in order to secure a market leadership location, or in order to secure market leading position, additional resources may be invested first in the development of new products or securing new customers to significantly expand the proportion of sales in this industry. So we need aggressive strategy to gain our market share, to take our market shares from the competitors. In order to get the market shares from the competitors, we may need development of the new product or securing new customers. That's kind of the aggressive strategy. So in pursuing the aggressive strategy, we may need a lot of resources invested first for the development of new products or securing new customers. The option number 3, where the business's market growth is so low and where my position in that industry is strong, so in the business sector of the cash cow, we can take the business strategic option of maintaining the current position in the market and maintaining the relationships with existing products or existing customers, and refrain from additional investment of the resources, simply to maintain the proportion of sales in the business as it is. We don't have to we don't have to inject more money in those business sector because it's not expected that market will grow dramatically in the near future. So in terms of the resource allocation, we simply maintain the current level of investment as it is. And finally, in the area of the dark business sector, where market growth is expected to low, and at the same time my position in that industry is weak, we may choose the strategic option of reducing the proportion of existing businesses by investing resources in finding new customers to replace existing customers. Without putting additional resources into existing businesses. So we simply invest a little bit more to find new customers, but those monies come from the previous investment for the existing customers, right? So we divest investment to the existing customers, but we put some money to find new customers. So in total, we may reduce the portion of existing businesses. So those are the 4 different direction of the strategies by applying the concept of the BCG matrix. So this is not the only way of listing up strategic alternatives. As I have emphasized, in under the BCG matrix, we looked at the market growth rate and our relative position in that market. But we may not look at those 2 areas of the market growth and then our positions. We may simply focus on those 2 axes. One is strategy about product selling and strategy about customer development. So as I have explained, I may choose focus on selling new product to new customers, or focus on selling new products to existing customers, or focus on selling existing products to new customers, or focus on selling existing products to existing customers. That's the simple illustration of 4 different options. Or we can use the BCG matrix to present 4 different strategic options.